It took weeks and weeks of extreme caution, but some members of the cast refused to eat with me, shake my hand, or even be in the same room as me for fear that they might inadvertently expose their children or someone else to AIDS. Actress Linda Evans, whose portrayal as Crystal Carrington on Dynasty enchanted viewers throughout the world, was a major influence on 1980s style. But was her real life really that picture perfect? She had a history of betrayal, a ruined marriage, and a never-ending struggle with mental and physical sickness beneath her flawless appearance. Linda Evans's reputation as an ideal of beauty was tarnished when she was embroiled in a legal scandal. Linda Evans has finally spoken the tragic truth about her troubled life at the age of 83. She conquered every obstacle in her path to self-discovery, from the peak of her career to the lowest point in her life when she thought life had no meaning. Tell me the truth. Join me as I delve into Linda Evans's emotional journey, a narrative of untold beauty, celebrity, and pain. Linda Evans came from an artistic family and was born on November 18, 1942 in Hartford, Connecticut. She inherited an appreciation for the arts from her parents, who were both accomplished dancers. The family relocated to North Hollywood when Linda was a little girl so that she may have better possibilities in the entertainment business. She and her two sisters, Kathy and Carol, had a loving and supportive upbringing there. Linda was a quiet, reserved kid who shied away from staring and felt awkward in crowds, even though she came from an artistic family. She felt she needed to boost her self-esteem by enrolling in theater classes while at Hollywood High School. Acting classes at Hollywood High School helped Linda overcome her shyness and set the stage for her future career, even if they were merely a means to an end, overcoming her timidity. There, the path to fame for an introverted young girl who would later become a television icon began. With a position in a TV commercial, 15-year-old Linda Evans broke into the entertainment scene. Even though it was a bit part, her first time on camera sparked a lifelong love of acting. Acting roles in period hits like Wagon Train, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and Bachelor Father came Linda's way after she captured the eye of filmmakers with her magnetic personality and innate charisma. Linda was able to hone her craft and establish herself as an up-and-coming actor during this time. The 1965 casting of Linda as Audra Barclay in Big Valley was a watershed moment. She had her first major part in a series finale with this one. Strong, bright, and irresistibly attractive, these were the defining characteristics of Audra Barclay, the youngest daughter of the Barclay family. Audiences were captivated, and Linda's portrayal of Audra was memorable for the way she expertly combined emotional depth with self-assurance. Changed Linda's life forever was the Big Valley. The success of the show, which ran until 1969, did more than just make her a household name. It also gave her the confidence to leave behind supporting roles and establish herself firmly in the entertainment world. Linda frequently mentioned that stepping into the role of Audra Barclay allowed her to tap into her full potential and seize more possibilities. This triumph marked the first major milestone in her career and laid the groundwork for what was to come. Audiences went wild for Linda's Audra Barclay performance, but she was about to land a role that would cement her place in Hollywood history. What was yet to come for Linda Evans? This leap, under the brilliant light of Dynasty, would alter the course of her life in an irrevocable way. Dynasty, in which Linda Evans starred as Crystal Carrington, is widely considered to be the role that made her a household name around the world. With its riveting plot revolving on the affluent Carrington family and filled with internal strife, love, and treachery, Dynasty immediately captivated viewers across the globe upon its 1981 premiere. One of the show's most important characters was Linda's Crystal Carrington. An clever, kind, and resolute woman, Crystal was portrayed by John Forsythe as Blake Carrington's wife. The intense competition between Crystal and Alexis Colby Joan Collins, Blake's ex-wife, was a defining feature of Dynasty and the source of many of the show's most shocking moments. The show's success was heavily influenced by the memorable confrontations between Crystal and Alexis, which riveted spectators. In 1982, Linda won a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a television series for her portrayal of Crystal Carrington, one of many honors she received for the role. She was much beloved by the audience, as seen by her many People's Choice Awards and consecutive Golden Globe nominations from 1982 to 1985. A further Emmy nomination in 1983 solidified Linda's position as one of the most famous TV actresses of that year. Worldwide style trends were also inspired by her performance. Many women throughout the world looked up to Crystal because of the example she set with her collection of fur coats, glitzy evening gowns, and other extravagant garments. It didn't take long for Linda to become a style icon. Her thick blonde hair, refined makeup, keen eyes, and neutral-toned lips were instantly recognizable. Her off-screen style was just as refined. She had a way with classic pieces like long coats, slacks, and white shirts that never went out of style. Her stunning Dynasty ensembles served as icons of the time, influencing designers and collections for decades after the event ended. Linda turned her style into an enduring legacy by proving that fashion is more than simply clothes. It is a means of self-expression and narrative telling. Linda had a number of film appearances outside of Dynasty. Avalanche Express, an action flick from 1979, featured her with Robert Shaw and Lee Marvin. Tom Horn, Steve McQueen's last picture, was released in 1980, and she was in it. Even while Linda's film parts weren't as successful as her TV ones, they demonstrated her openness to trying new genres. Linda appeared in Dynasty, the reunion in 1991 as Crystal again. The Carrington family's cherished tales and personalities might be enjoyed again by viewers of this little series. Audiences were thrilled to see Linda return to the role, proving once again how popular she is. Linda was always looking for new jobs and working extremely hard to advance her career, although Dynasty is still her most famous work. Both the number of accolades she has received and the emotional connection she has forged with her audience throughout her performances are indicators of her success. Inspiring tenacity and a deep devotion to her art, Linda Evans is more than just a legendary actress. She is a role model for generations to come. Tragedies and hardships in Linda Evans' personal life caused her to face profound emotional wounds in her marriage and love life, even though she achieved the peak of her profession and became a worldwide star. John Derek, a famous actor and director, was 16 years Linda's senior when the couple tied the knot in 1968. Linda was a young 26-year-old when this happened, but Derek was a seasoned Hollywood star with a reputation for charisma and good looks. In addition to being Linda's companion, Derek was instrumental in her professional development and helped her succeed in the cutthroat entertainment world. But what appeared to be a happy marriage soon turned into a painful one. Linda and Derek had a rocky relationship to begin with. Derek was known as a passionate but domineering man. He was married to actress Ursula Andress and had a notoriously troubled love life. During their marriage, Derek's inclination to exert control became apparent. Linda gave up her budding acting career out of love for him, but he insisted she give it up so they could concentrate on their family life. Despite Linda's best efforts, the marriage remained unstable. Derek persisted in micromanaging her life, telling her what to wear and how to interact with others. Linda, who was naive and young at the time, thought that love required selflessness. Although she was prepared to bend, it wouldn't protect her from the agony Derek would inflict. In 1973, when Derek had an affair with Mary Kathleen Collins, an 18-year-old who would eventually become a Hollywood beauty legend known as Bo Derek, things reached a breaking point. Derek went to great lengths to conceal his romance from Linda, including publicly flaunting it and even bringing Bo to Germany and Greece to avoid legal trouble because of their 30-year age gap. Both the stunning betrayal and the public humiliation it caused Linda were immense. Linda was the focus of rumors and suspicion while Derek was slammed for being selfish. This was the lowest point of Linda's life, she said afterwards. She felt abandoned and lost after the man she loved so much betrayed her. Along with the emotional fallout from her marriage's demise, she struggled with self-doubt due to her comparisons to Bo Derek, who she saw as younger and more beautiful. Linda, who was subject to intense public scrutiny, opted to keep quiet despite her distress. Instead of giving in to hopelessness, Linda made up her mind to face her suffering head-on and keep going. She divorced her husband in 1974 after 6 turbulent years of marriage. Divorce was a turning moment in Linda's journey to self-discovery, despite its challenges. She contacted her management after breaking up with Derek to let them know she was ready to return to acting. Linda's strength allowed her to not only triumph over her own personal tragedy, but also to forge on in her professional life. She swiftly got back on her feet in show business. Her portrayal of Crystal Carrington on Dynasty catapulted her to even greater stardom a few years down the road. By finding meaning in her suffering, Linda demonstrated that she was greater than the stereotype of a spurned woman. Fortitude and determination were qualities she embodied. Long after John Derek passed away in 1998, Bo Derek made it public that she was sorry for her part in Linda and John's divorce. Bo confessed that she had been naive about the gravity of the situation when she was younger and had interfered in other people's relationships. Her own gorgeous but challenging marriage to Derek was fraught with complexity and difficulty, and she felt guilty for the hurt she had inadvertently caused Linda. Despite the tragic end of her marriage to John Derek, Linda Evans found the resolve to go on. Despite the backlash Derek received for how he treated Linda, Linda decided to move on, using the experience as a warning that she should never allow herself be diminished by love. By fighting back against hardship, Linda became a role model for others. In 1975, Linda wed Stan Herman, a prosperous real estate magnate, marking the beginning of a new chapter in her life after the turbulent marriage to Derek came to an end. Herman provided Linda with the stability she craved in contrast to Derek, who was involved in the entertainment industry. When they first started dating, it was with the desire for a less complicated life, far from the limelight and the stresses of Hollywood. Unfortunately, Linda's expectations for this marriage were not met. Their divergent priorities and ways of life grew more apparent during their 4 years of dating. Linda continued to be a huge star in Hollywood, whereas Herman, who was great at what he did, had a hard time fitting in with Linda's environment. Their brief but meaningful marriage came to an end in 1979 when they decided to split ways, having found little common ground during their marriage. Lee Majors, star of The $6 Million Man, was one of numerous famous people Linda dated after her divorce. The union of these two television icons created a media sensation, and although their romance didn't last long, it nevertheless gained enormous public attention. The bond between Linda and the famous Greek musician Yanni stands out. An almost decade-long romance began between them in 1989. Linda frequently recounted how Yanni finally fulfilled her lifelong dreams of contentment and joy. Linda considers their time together, even though they never tied the knot, to have been the most idyllic period of her life. Neither of Linda's marriages nor her subsequent relationships resulted in the birth of a child. She is very forthright about the fact that she does not regret her decision to forego motherhood. All she wanted to do was advance professionally, cultivate meaningful connections, and create a life that was true to her dreams. Taking care of herself, following her dreams, and staying close to the people who meant the most to Linda were the things that brought her the most happiness and satisfaction. Although Linda's marriage to Stan Herman was short-lived, it provided an opportunity for her to learn about herself and the meaning of love. Linda maintained her optimism and resilience through 2 unsuccessful marriages and an inability to have children. She is still actively seeking personal fulfillment and meaningful relationships. For her, the lessons she learned from each relationship, long-term or short-lived, aided her development and self-awareness. Linda Evans' decision not to have children is seen by some as a reflection of her focus on her job and happiness. What are your thoughts on this point of view? Leave a comment with your opinions. Following a string of unsuccessful marriages and major life transitions, Linda Evans entered a new chapter that would test her physical and emotional health to the fullest. Linda, who had radiated strength and beauty on television, fought unseen challenges behind the scenes. A serious health catastrophe befell Linda in February of 2014. She had to rely on powerful painkillers since her chronic back pain was too much to handle. Her everyday life was greatly affected by the chronic fatigue syndrome, which put her body in a state of tiredness. An injury to her neck sustained during intense athletic training only made matters worse. Due to these emotional and physical stresses, Linda fell into a profound despair. The unbearable agony got so bad that she considered suicide when she was at her lowest. In the same year, Linda's arrest for reckless driving made headlines and damaged her reputation. It was later determined, however, that the drug's negative effects on her conduct were a result of her attempts to alleviate her excruciating back pain. The cops discovered 30 painkillers in Linda's purse during their inquiry. She said the medications were provided for medicinal purposes, but she confessed she didn't know they would affect her driving. A severe hair loss brought on by corticosteroid treatments added to Linda's emotional troubles. This was an especially trying ordeal for someone as beautiful as she is. Wearing wigs helped her cope, but she didn't let herself be embarrassed. On the contrary, she welcomed this adventure as a necessary step toward recovery. Linda spoke openly about her journey in interviews, stating that she was able to reclaim her self-esteem and love herself again when she accepted her flaws. Upon self-reflection, Linda realized that numerous of her previous relationships had robbed her of her identity. She had lost touch with her authentic self after years of putting others' needs before her own and sacrificing for their approval. But it was through these hardships that she learned the value of independence and dignity. Linda set out on a challenging but determined path to recovery, driven by her determination to heal. She started living life on her own terms, sought balance, and emphasized her mental health. Her deepest sufferings, Linda stated, taught her that every difficulty is an opportunity for growth. From the depths of despair, she rose to discover her inner light once more. There is no obstacle too great for Linda Evans, a television star and a real-life example of the transformative power of perseverance and renewal. Linda Evans refused to be defined by the suffering she endured, even though she had to overcome enormous obstacles in her life. She developed greater strength and left behind an incredibly uplifting legacy as a result of her path of self-healing and hardship. Aside from her iconic roles on television, Linda is much more than that. She conveys the profound idea that individuals may rise over hardship and reclaim their true selves. She is a kind and resilient icon. The impact of Linda goes much beyond the confines of television. She used her celebrity status to speak out against health difficulties, including chronic fatigue syndrome, which she had to fight on a personal level, and the value of leading a healthy lifestyle. A self-care and beauty expert, Linda Evans imparted her wisdom in her books Beauty, Recipes for Life, and an exercise book. Beyond being mere manuals, these writings inspired countless women on their quests for fulfillment and harmony. Linda will be remembered most for the power of her life narrative, not for her many accolades and medals. She proved that hardship and tragedy cannot destroy a person, but can spur them on to greater strength and resilience. Beyond the realm of show business, her message has reached women all over the globe who are fighting for equality and empowerment. A person's value is not defined by their capacity to escape hardship, but by how they face and triumph over it, and Linda Evans is a prime example of this. Both her acting profession and the belief she imparts that there is light at the end of the tunnel are testaments to her legacy. A new chapter, a tranquil and purposeful life, has been embraced by Linda Evans after the ups and downs of her life and profession. She now calls Washington State home, where she finds solace in the serene, natural environment. Linda, who is believed to be worth $20 million, stays out of the spotlight while staying in touch with her admirers and pursues her personal hobbies and inspiring activities. Linda had a brief yet moving cameo in the 2021 film Swan Song, marking her triumphant return to the big screen. Her acting chops and character nuance are just as strong as ever, as shown in this performance. Her visit brought joy to her devoted fan base and solidified her position as a beloved television legend. Linda, when she's not performing, is a health nut who works hard at her workout and nutrition regimens. Recipes for Life, her cookbook, is filled with her poignant anecdotes and simple recipes like salad of hope and light soups.
Every dish is more than simply food in Linda's eyes.
It's a treasured recollection that got her through the hardest times. She incorporates regular exercise and yoga into her schedule. Linda frequently mentions the dual benefits of yoga for her bodily and emotional well-being. She credits the practice with helping her reach daily calmness and a sense of therapy for her mind. The tranquil surroundings of Washington have become an integral part of her beloved yoga practice, which she uses to refresh her spirit and maintain her flexibility. Linda does not believe in superficial beauty standards or the need to constantly improve one's appearance. She thinks that genuine beauty originates from inside. A person's self-love and acceptance, she says, are more important than their physical attractiveness. Linda started the new year off on an emotional note on Instagram in early 2025. She sent her supporters a heartfelt New Year's message in a video. "I wish you all the best in 2018 as you finally embrace the wonder that is your authentic identity. It is my hope that we would keep believing in ourselves and our aspirations until we achieve them. Sending best wishes as the new year begins. My deepest sympathies are with you at this time." Once again, solidifying her position as a Hollywood icon and a source of positivity for many, Linda's appearance in the video captivated the attention of her fan base with her radiant, natural, and energetic presence. Linda Evans demonstrates that the key to happiness is not our chronological age or the hardships we have endured, but rather our self-love and the choices we make in life. Her cheerful and passionate life continues to motivate others and show us that each day is a chance for improvement. No matter how difficult things get, Linda Evans shows that it is possible to overcome adversity and live a life that matters by being resilient and respecting oneself. After overcoming obstacles, Reinventing herself time and time again and leaving a legacy that goes beyond television, Linda has gone from being a TV star to an inspirational figure. Even at 82 years old, she continues to inspire those who are looking for inner strength and tranquility. Her story exemplifies how each day brings a chance to start over and be oneself. How do you feel about the motivational story of Linda Evans? Which part of her narrative strikes a chord with you the most? Feel free to provide your opinions in the space provided. In order to ensure that you do not miss any future stories involving Hollywood greats, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Looking forward to working with you in the upcoming video.